Everybody has a
Good job.
Yeah, everybody has a
Good
right
job.
to their opinion.
Public for everybody.
Oh, well, no, nobody heard me then. She wasn't on.
She had to tell you about it first time. I thought you guys had her. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Prior to this meeting, the town council did hold an executive session on Friday, November 14th at 1 p.m. The executive session was called pursuant to Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-6.1 subsection B6. With respect to any individual over whom the governing body has jurisdiction, A, to receive information concerning the individual's alleged misconduct, and B, to discuss before determination the individual's status as an employee. Subsection B9, to discuss a job performance evaluation, employee-specific compensation, or employment matters of individual employees. This subdivision does not apply to general discussion of the salary, compensation, or benefits of employees during a budget process. And subsection B19, to have communications with an attorney that are subject to the attorney-client privilege. We just asked for a motion to certify that that is all that was discussed during the executive session and that no other matters were discussed.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Brad made a motion.
I'll second it.
Becky seconded. All in favor?
And as to final action on the executive session, I believe it's my understanding that there will be a verbal warning which will be conveyed by John and Fred to the employee in question, and then that would be obviously made part of their employment file.
Do we have to have a motion to that effect?
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to that?
I'll make the motion.
Fred made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Becky seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. All right. Approval of minutes of the executive session 11/3/25, the regular meeting 11/14/25, and the executive session. For the executive session on 11/14/25 and the previous regular meeting. We've had so many meetings.
I'll make the motion to approve
All of the above.
all the above.
Becky made the motion to approve all
I'll
of the
second
above,
it.
and Fred seconded. All in favor? Unanimous. A little late there, Fred, but yeah.
I was writing it down.
Claims and payroll. Any questions? Gina said that the final payment to Shuti is on the claim, so it makes it a little bit higher than normal. Claims are $321,824.35. And the payroll is $49,997.59. Do I have a motion? Ethan made a motion to approve both.
A second.
Rick seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, on for unfinished business, redevelopment commission appointment. We appointed a person at our last meeting, but she declined the appointment. Would anyone want to make a motion to appoint another person? Becky has expressed interest in being on the commission.
I don't have anybody that I can ever offhand.
Becky said that she would like to be on the commission.
We'll both nominate her.
Ethan made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Fred seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
Thank you.
Unanimous. We all have to sign this. My stuff last meeting. Winter Wonderland request.
So I had received a call from Jerry Noah. I think Rebecca told him to give the office a call just to see. He's going to do two nights or 2 evenings in Winter Wonderland. Is it hay rides
Yes.
or wagon rides?
Yeah.
So I think, Andy, did you say he just needs to have a hold harmless agreement with the copy of his certificate of liability? So I will email that to him. One of the other things he said his daughter wanted to do was to have cookies and hot chocolate for sale for $1, just to recoup her costs. I wanted to ask council if he could do that without a solicitor's permit, since he's doing it for basically free.
I don't have.
Do we need to make a motion to,
Yeah, I would.
yes, okay,
I make a motion that he's allowed to do that.
all right, is there a second? Becky made a motion, Ethan seconded, all in favor? Unanimous. All right. Now, I know you guys want to stay for every last second, but I'm gonna let you go now if you want to. If Russell Singleton would like to say something to us, he just recently purchased a business here in Brookville. And we always like that. Yep, please.
Said my name's Russell Singleton. I moved to Brookville a little over a year ago. To my then fiance, now wife, Jess. When I moved here, I work full time now. I got a little side hobby where I buy and sell antiques, make neons, a lot of different items I sell. And I always wanted to open a store, so when I got here and got settled, I started looking around at properties, and that's when I bought 120 Harrison Avenue. And when I walked through the building, I just planned on buying the building and converting it into my store, have an ample storage space. And the previous owner, I kind of asked her what she was doing with all the gym equipment, and she said, "You don't want to keep the gym open?" And I was like, never even crossed my mind. Well, she told me a little bit about it and how important it was for the community to have a gym. So I decided to keep it open. And since then, I've really kind of thrived with trying to make it better. Spent thousands of dollars out of my own pocket buying new equipment. I bought an updated door system, fix that leaky roof and ceiling tiles. So I've really kind of been investing a lot of my money into it, and I haven't even started on my storefront. And the garage space on the front of the building is the cardio room. And I had planned on taking that over as storage space for my storefront. Got a little kickback from the elderly group that's in there 3 times a week. There's about 15 members that come in. There's Silver Sneaker members and other insurance, paid for. I don't really make much money off that, it's mainly for the community. And so I decided to keep that open, and that caused me to have a problem with storage for my inventory. So I bought 2 shipping containers. I dropped them out back, and not even 2 hours later, I got a phone call from Brookville telling me that I'm not allowed having shipping containers in Brookville. I respected that, and I had them removed that day.
We
That
appreciate that.
That took a lot of work to get that done. And I lost a few bucks doing it, but then I found out that I think I didn't break the ordinance, that I had the right to have those there. And that's what brought me here today. I wanted to come see what we could do about that, if anything. I was hoping we could work out an agreement, that I could maybe put those back there, because I need some sort of storage for my business that I want to open. I'm going to leave my full-time job to do this business, so I need somewhere to put that stuff, and that was my best solution. So I don't really want to spend an exorbitant amount of money putting a fixed shelter there, or barn or garage or something. So I did call that number back and left a message asking for some information more further about the situation. I had not heard anything, so that's kind of what brought me today.
Andy, can you address this?
So the ordinance. So the ordinance as written right now, no portion of any yard shall be used for the permanent storage of licensed, unlicensed, and or inoperable motor vehicles, recreational vehicles, travel trailers, campers, mobile homes, trailers, airplanes, boats, parts thereof, shipping containers, cargo, freight, rubbish, garbage, junk, tent or building materials, except during permitted construction. Any restricted vehicles as listed in 70.026B definitions of the town of Brookville traffic code. So I think the word that's the crux of the situation is yard, in this situation. And unfortunately, yard is not, defined in the Indiana code. So that would be, something that would be up to interpretation as to what constitutes a yard. I mean, and it's going to sound silly, but if you go to Merriam-Webster, which is what a court would do when a word's not defined, it says the grounds immediately surrounding a house that are usually covered with grass is what that says. So,
And he had it on gravel.
Standard for gravel.
It is.
so
And I was gonna fence them in, make them look nice, not gonna be junky. I bought 2 brand new ones. They're called one-time shipping containers. They're not rusty, they're not chipped up, they're not dinged up. So I'm kind of, my day job, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a kind of a neat freak. So I'm gonna make it look nice.
My apologies to you on that.
Opposites there.
Andy, have you got any suggestions on this?
well, I mean, I think you can. There's a spectrum. Obviously, you can allow them wherever, or you can not allow them at all. And so right now it's written as kind of, I would say, somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. But the issue is what's considered a yard.
Well, I think council would like to not have them at all, but he had them at a place that was probably okay by the old ordinance. We're gonna change it tonight, or maybe change it tonight. Kind of I can see his point.
Is this a variance issue?
So if the, as written right now. In the, let me say too, this is as to permanent storage. So if you're intending for them to be there for 10 or more days is what's considered permanent storage in the ordinance. So if it's something that's on a temporary basis, it's gonna be less than 10 days, then it wouldn't fall under the prohibition, even as it's written right now. It's when it hits that 10-day time frame that it becomes permanent storage, which is what, even as written right now, prohibits. I would say prohibits them to being placed on a driveway or a patio, which would, at least that's the argument I would make, is if it's on a driveway or patio, it wouldn't be on a yard, but if it's anywhere else, it would be on a yard.
Would the gravel be a driveway? Is that what you're saying, or?
Well, I think what's happening too is there's no permitting process for them, which means there's no oversight. Because anybody can dump a load of gravel in their yard and set a shipping container on it and be like, well, it's not in my yard anymore, it's on gravel.
Which
And-
is hacked, or does have to.
And that's, so there's no oversight now, right now, other than after the fact, somebody showing up and saying you're not allowed to have that. So it's really however council wants to handle it, is outright prohibition, or you can keep them, but hey, let's make them subject to a permit. Are any accessory structures subject to a permit, like shed or?
Yes,
Okay.
if they're over 150 square feet in town, they have to have a permit. If they're over 200 square feet, they not only have to have a permit from the town, they have to have them from the county also.
Is the shed an option for you? Is it or is it
A shed.
a lot
costs about
more?
$2,000 to
lot more.
$3,000 more than shipping.
Okay.
I have two,
Can you tell us how big your shipping containers are?
but they're 40 by 8 feet.
40 by 8, okay.
So that's 320. So would they fall under the 200 then?
How many
40 by 8?
40 by 8?
is,
I'm sorry, they're 20 by 8. The 40 foot is a full size tractor trailer. 20 foot by 8
So
feet.
160. So that's above the 150.
right,
Anybody from council?
So you just need to get a permit through the county, if it was over 200 feet, it's through the county and the town, correct? Like you said,
No, I think
Sounds like they were 160. They were 20 by 8.
but it's 200 square feet for the county as well, right?
150 for the town, 200 for the
Yeah,
county.
So it's
150
good to
down
get
to,
two
but-
permits for each one.
you put them both together.
Well, they're separate.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't, we're not gonna count two things as one, right?
No, they're separate, so. Is there anything that says he can't have 2 of them on there?
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know, you know, from when it was Rotafels, when it was a motorcycle shop, it's been several incarnates over the years. There's always been overstock parts vehicles, whatever, that have sat back there for years that they would get to it when they get to it. Personally, you know, like I said, if we decide tonight to, you know, change some of the codes that are already on the list here. Sounds like he was already planning on fencing them in and hiding them from public view anyway, just to
And he
keep
had them
people.
on site.
And
within 2 hours.
So I'll say this, so if, you know, like, I mean, I wish everybody reacted as quickly as you did to remove a violation. Most people don't at all. But if they're not there right now and you adopt the ordinance tonight to prohibit shipping containers, then they wouldn't be able to come back because then shipping containers would be prohibited. What you could do, again, this is somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, is add in shipping containers are prohibited. However, the town council may grant a variance. And then you could at least have people come forward and say, my plan is to put them behind a fence and put them on a concrete pad or put them out of sight, whatever it is. And then you could handle it on a case by case basis. That would be somewhere else on the spectrum.
That's good to me.
Could
Would that have
since
to
I
be-
had them there, could I be grandfathered into the old clause since I? already
They're not
had-
there now, though.
That's what you get from it, too quick.
As you get older, you don't move as quick, so.
I think the variance would protect the town to keep residential areas from putting a lot of gravel down and putting a shipping container there,
And
which,
this is in a commercial space, so it's not right on the main road, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's why
behind
I'm
the-
saying that's
Yeah,
what would
you're
make sense
hidden
for the
from
variance.
everything.
And that's another option too. is you could also look at your zoning districts and say, we're gonna prohibit them in residential, but in these zoning districts, they would be permitted or.
now would you have to write that into the ordinance about the variance?
And actually,
Feel
if,
that-
if you went with it from a zoning standpoint, then I would say zoning code is where you would wanna put it. Get rid of it in 150.41. Get rid of shipping containers there, or maybe note that it's subject to zoning restrictions. So.
Okay, act like I'm stupid. What did you just say?
So if you're gonna take it, if you're gonna handle it from a zoning standpoint, then I would. This is probably just me being a neat freak. I would then put that in the zoning ordinance as opposed to this 150.
County zoning ordinance?
That's,
Town doesn't need-
yeah, that's the weird part too, is maybe we would have to go to the county about that, is the county handles the zoning for the town. That's
I
right.
don't know that. That they would make the amendment for the town.
Mhm. Are there any restrictions in the zoning ordinance on shipping containers?
In zoning for the county,
Mhm.
not that I'm aware of.
Could we make it a permitting process?
Well, it sounds like if they're 20 by 8, there is one that they would have to get from the town, right? If it's above 150 square feet, is that what you said?
Any storage.
Yeah.
Over 150 square has to.
Is there any way you can get a little smaller one?
With a hammer.
It's for a year. Please, it's early for a year. I don't know that.
Or do it every year.
Oh, you have
No.
to renew
I think
it
it's a
once you
one
get it,
time,
you get it.
just a
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The only reason I would say that is because then it would come to council before people just dropping them in their yards. I don't know how that would be written.
Well, I mean, it sounds like, and I'm not knocking everything you've done. It sounds like there should have been a permit if they're 160 square feet.
That pertain to boats and trailers and all those things,
So the boats and trailers and all that are,
if you line two of those up, you're gonna have 150 feet.
I think the boats and the trailers and things fall under the restricted vehicle clause. And as long as they're on a driveway, they have to be licensed, they can't be unlicensed. As long as they're on a driveway license, they're legal.
This is under the same, I'm not trying to argue, but it is under the exact same. Section as. Shipping containers, trailers, boats. Hence,
Airplanes.
I guess the thing is that we've never allowed shipping containers, and in fact, we've used this ordinance in the past. To have them removed, and they were sitting on gravel or they were sitting on pavement. We've used this same ordinance.
Well, he read it. And it does say yard.
And they're. We could argue yard.
I mean, you seem like a reasonable person. I'm just saying, considering the town. If you had to file for a building permit to get approval to put those on there, is that something you'd be willing to do?
Sure. I mean, it sounds like just going through the permit process says that it is over 150 feet would just be the easiest, and I think I can't speak for the rest of the board, but I get exactly where you're coming from. But that doesn't, because they can attest to the fact, and so can the chief, we had right across diagonal from your place, we started letting people put in sheds, and then it was a little flea market, and before you know it, it was a little tiny home encampment that had a dozen people living in wooden sheds year round. And it took the town a lot of work to clean that up and get that out of there and stop that. And I think doing it case by case basis with permit, like I said, you know, I can understand totally what you're going through. You went about it the right way. You're handling it in a professional manner, and I think the permit on a case by case basis, I think I personally, I can't speak for the rest of the board, but I would feel more comfortable doing that and dealing with you on a case by case basis instead of lumping everybody into one strict code. And then that way, if it's a building permit, it's no different than somebody building a carport or adding a, you know, 12 by 12 shed to an existing property or something like that. It's
So this rolls into the ordinance that I put together. What if the strict prohibition only applied to the residential zoning districts? And then for all other zoning districts, the placement of shipping containers is subject to a permit that must be approved by the town council.
What's that zone down there?
Commercial property.
Yeah, do you know the exact zoning of it?
What's the address?
120 Harrison. I'd like a clarification if it's avenue, street, or road. The street sign says street, the Otter site says road, and all my, when I did LLC and everything else, it comes under avenue, so. Yeah, quite an issue.
Welcome to Brookville.
I would know that too.
Yeah, I mean, my mailing address and everything's different from.
It's general business.
Well, they're
Most of Main Street is general business.
If I can speak, if you heard the story originally, he had planned to do away with 2 businesses down there. And he chose to keep them for the betterment of Brookville, whether it's, you know, again, I advised him against kicking the girls out from yoga. But they didn't start the damn descent. But you know, the gym was not in his plan, but he realized the need of Brookville, so he was kind enough to do that. So, you know, again, not because he's raised my daughter, but he's you know, he's trying to take, you know, people into consideration.
I agree.
Thoughts.
I think
Hopefully,
to take that away from senior citizens, I think it's not a good thing to do.
and
looks
he-
like it's general business.
So again, act like I'm stupid. What we're saying is to
See, that's not even right, it's the 90.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he comes up a little different on there.
to put
Can't
this
trust GIS websites.
into an ordinance where it's forbid on residential property altogether. And then it'd be a permitting basis for
All other zoning districts.
all of it. So you would have to put that into a,
Well, I've got it pulled up here. I had sent out what I had drafted earlier today, but if that's, and it's also first reading, so you would have to suspend the rules if you were going to move forward with anything tonight anyway. But you could say that you're approving it as amended, and I could read the language to you that I
and we
come up
could
with.
trust you.
Yeah. Well, I'll read the language. Yes, you can trust me, but I'll still read the language.
So if we can do this tonight, can you, well, we may be able to approve it tonight. If we do this minutes, just forget that.
What's the permit called for the more than 150, just a storage
Just building permit.
building permit? So they would say that it would be a new subsection in 150.41 I3. So it would read, the usage of shipping containers, cargo, freight as permanent storage is strictly prohibited on any portion of real property in all residential zoning districts within the town. In all other zoning districts, the placement of any shipping containers, cargo, freight requires the application. That's not this right. Flying. A building permit, which is subject to the approval of the Brookville Town Council.
You can sit down for this next part. if you want.
I actually, it reads better, requires the issuance of a building permit, which is subject to the approval of the Brookville Town.
Okay, next on our agenda was the amendment to chapter 150 of the Code of Ordinances, and that's what Andy was talking about. I believe it's sent out to everyone. To do this tonight, it's an ordinance, so we would have to first have a motion to suspend the rules and then vote on the ordinance. So
I make the motion to suspend the rules.
Becky made a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
Fred seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous?
Before you vote on the actual ordinance, did you want me to add a sentence about that they have to be placed on gravel or concrete blacktop driveways, patios only?
Yes.
Okay, so that then the sentence added would be, said containers may only be placed on gravel, concrete and or blacktop driveways and or patios. Does that work?
Property line on Main Street that are paved, that are not driveways or whatever you wanna call it. Will this ordinance allow them to place that on them?
They'd have to go through the historic commission first.
Okay.
I don't think they get through that.
I don't think so.
And then, sorry, you might want to make a motion before I think on this any longer. Language about subject to setback requirements too, right?
Everything is set back.
Right. Okay, so you don't think I need to mention that?
Well,
What is the requirement?
For like setbacks,
No, what is-
oh, what is it?
would Be down there, so.
General business?
What general business is right off the top of my head? I guess the thing that I'm concerned about with this ordinance right now. I'm in general business. My own home is a general business. And it's more or less a residential area. The north side of Main Street, even though so people along me could set a shipping container.
But they
And I
couldn't.
know that, Dan, you were on the board when we had some of these removed. They were actually in general business, but we used this ordinance to have them removed.
The only one I remember is the one on 52 where he made an illegal cut into his yard.
But he had like 4 shipping containers and all the neighbors were calling me, complaining about the shipping containers. But according to this, they would be allowed because it is, I'm pretty sure that's general business all the way down through there.
Well, could we do not at all in residential and then on the rest of them be as a, I don't know how legalese to put it, but as a each come on their own and we
Like a variance?
yeah.
Even notify adjoining property owners to give them a chance to be heard. I don't know. I guess that would be a type of variance situation then.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's enough violation from the 2 neighbors down there between the pop cans and the trash cans and everything, building, whatever, grocery store, candy store. I mean, they park, trucks in there, panel trucks for days and days at a time. So. if one was to go up.
Or are they licensed though? If they're unlicensed, they're illegal. If they're licensed, they're not illegal.
I was just looking at it from an eyesore standpoint.
Oh, well, that could be too.
So what about, in all other zoning districts, placement of any shipping containers requires the issuance of a variance authorizing the placement, which is subject to the approval of the Brookville Town Council. Adjoining property owners will be notified of the variance request via certified mail and be given an opportunity to address the Brookville Town Council prior to the issuance of said variance. If the variance is granted, the shipping containers may only be placed on gravel, concrete, and or blacktop driveways and or patios.
That sounds good to me.
Where do you get a variance?
It would come into the office.
Yeah, I'll work with Gina to type up a form.
And we'll have to charge.
Yeah. What's the, what amount?
What we doing, we're talking about moving the building permit up to $25 tonight.
Like the $1.
Don't think Andy has that ready yet.
That, yeah, I don't have that ordinance ready to go.
Okay,
I just saw Gina sent me Tim's notes today.
okay,
so.
all right.
But yeah, I know it's on the agenda to
Yeah.
talk about.
So it's variances are cheaper than building permits with the county, correct? No?
$300 for a variance.
Shit. Well,
Have to have all the neighbors have to agree, and even if they deny the variance, you don't get the money back.
we could set it at $25.
Yeah, I think
I know we had talked about doing our own in the past. Is that an option?
We've never had a variance ordinance or whatever. We have in fact done ordinances in the past by just requiring that they get a letter from all their neighbors stating that this is okay. We kind of followed the county except for the fee. But we don't have an actual ordinance identifying or a variance or anything like that, because, well, we haven't had one. This would be something that wouldn't fall under the county. We have run across this before. I think, it's come up with, like storage buildings too close to the property line and in variance.
But the county would handle that though, right?
No,
No?
if it's a
it's
storage
through the
building under
alley.
200 square feet, they don't
Oh.
care.
Oh, okay.
They don't care about setbacks, but
But we
if they
did.
want to set it too close to the property line, then it was a variance through the town,
Oh,
and they had to get permission from their neighbors.
So we have done that.
We have done it in the past, but we
Okay.
don't have anything written on it.
So John threw out 25, so that's what I typed in. The variance application shall cost $25 and the applicant will be responsible for the cost of notifying the adjoining property owners by certified mail. So $25 plus the cost of notifying adjoiners, which certified mail's gotten real expensive.
What's the joint? Everybody knows that building. What we can say. Grocery store.
well, you got with the feed mill, the snack store, and is that
And
Humane
behind it.
Society still run that building behind it there?
And the house that's behind it too, right?
I don't know.
Yes, it crosses the roads
Mhm.
also,
Yeah.
crosses the streets, both directions.
He did, new judge.
Yeah, well, he's not the judge yet. He's running for prosecuting attorney. But see, I thought it was only properties that were attached, attached by the road, but attached.
Well, they are, they're
Yeah.
adjoining properties, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if they're even across the street,
Okay.
that's considered an adjoining
Right,
property.
right. Because I had to do this whenever I had my pool put in back in 2005. I had to get 11 property owners to sign. Yeah.
Well, I think the cost certified's okay, cause if you wanna do it, it's for business, you know.
Why even a variance, since nothing on the book about a variance?
Because
What about?
as Tim said, he lives in a general business. I live across the street from a general business area. I don't wanna see a shipping container.
I understand, but I mean, that's.
So you've gotta have some vehicle to be able to
that could
control
be a
it.
work Permit or a building permit and just deny that based on.
But it wouldn't be a building permit,
Has to be something to back it up.
yeah,
But that ordinance would back it up.
that's.
The variance makes it a whole different. Because you get one neighbor and the one across the street would probably be opposed to it. Then the whole thing's done.
Would it be done if one person doesn't sign?
It would be up to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They just
don't worry about that.
Yeah, and then, so, yeah, they have the opportunity, you know, if there's, to Dan's example, if there's 10 neighbors and one of them objects and the town council still approves it, that one neighbor, anybody aggrieved by the decision, can then, if they wanted to file with the circuit court to review the town council's decision, and the standard's arbitrary and capricious, which means your decision would have to be patently unreasonable, is how that works. But I mean, any decision you guys make is subject to review. Technically.
any comments?
Okay, so the way I've got it is that I3 would be shipping containers, subsection A would be strict prohibition in residential. My paragraph was getting kind of long, so I broke it up into two. And then paragraph B would be what we've been discussing with the variance process, $25. Applicant pays certified costs, certified mail costs, and so the rules have been suspended. Then we just, a discussion. So if that's where you guys are fine with, it would be to approve. What number are we on, Gina?
This would be 19.
2025-19
Yep.
as amended, if that's what you want to do.
So do I have a motion to approve this as amended?
I make that motion to approve
Becky
it
made
as
the
amended.
motion to approve as amended. Do I have a second? Ethan seconded. All in favor? All opposed? 5-0. Now, I don't sign this, do I? Cause it's amended.
Now, I'll sign it I'll send this updated one to Gina, and then you guys just sign it when you
Okay.
can.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for trying to put a business in. Good luck. Good. Good job.
Text me the Monday night scores, as I'm gonna be here a while.
And please don't close the area for the senior citizens. Okay.
Sportsplex right of entry agreement.
Rick and I were talking about this right before the meeting started, so I kind of just need to know who's going to be signing this. So we're giving somebody the authority to enter onto your property to finish out these last couple items that are hanging out there, and I need to know who's going to be signing that, because that's the person that's going to be assuming the liability also.
So Shelley didn't get back with you on that?
Now, Rick talked to her and said she thought she did. I checked my spam folder. I didn't see anything. She emailed me initially, like right after our last meeting, and I fired off some questions to her, and then Rick was going to follow up with her. And he said he thought she got back to me, but I didn't see anything. But also, Euler can't start till December anyway.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, the way I understand it, they can't start on the fifth, wouldn't even be close to start till December.
So I would just ask that be tabled.
Okay, do I have a motion to that effect? Ethan made a motion to
I'll
table.
second.
Rick seconded. All in favor? That's unanimous. Owner occupied rehabilitation grant admin RFP proposals. We have one. See what else I can break. I see the commissioners do this, they just go right through it. But they have better feel. This comes from SIRPC, who wrote the grant, and it's the only one we've got. So do I have a motion to approve SIRPC as our grant administrator?
I make that motion.
Becky made a motion,
I'll say.
Brad seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0. Is there anything I have to sign for that?
No,
If you
there's-
wanna send it down,
Yeah.
I'll look through it. You guys
Okay.
can move on.
All right. God bless you, Andy.
Gina's taking notes, so.
Salary ordinance for 2026.
So I drafted the salary ordinance that has to be approved prior to the beginning of December. I entered the proposed changes as that were discussed during budget time. It just sets forth the dates of when the 2026 salary ordinance will start. It would be Sunday, December 14th, 2025 through December 27th, 2025 for payment on January the 2nd, 2026. So that will be the first payroll of the year. I also added in, which I don't think was in there before, the 15-minute rounding time clock that we've been following. I don't think was ever actually in the ordinance, so I added that. The health benefits, we left the same because I'm not sure what those will be just yet, so we may eventually have to do another amendment down the road. All the holidays are updated. I did update the paid off time benefits for the police office manager. And then I did add a section where we talked about paid vacation benefits. We always use those in increments of 1/2 day or a full day, but it was never stated in there, so I added that. I added the holiday for the police department employees. So they'll get paid at the end of the calendar year, but they'll receive a separate check for the holidays that they're actually present. So if they leave employment with the town prior to the end of the year, they'll just get the check for what they were here for. I left the flexible spending account as is, because I'm not sure what our health insurance agent is going to recommend, so I left that in there as well. And then I did change or update the Schilling Center rental for the eligible employees to 150, because I think that is what the fire department was to be proposing instead of that minimal charge. But I think that concludes all of the updates.
So since this is an ordinance, we'll have to suspend the rules if we want to approve it tonight, Andy.
Yes.
Okay. You-
I'll make a motion to suspend the rule.
Brad made a motion to suspend the rules.
I second it.
Becky seconded, all in favor, all opposed. Have a motion to approve the salary ordinance.
I make that motion to approve the salary
Becky
ordinance.
made a motion, Ethan seconded, all in favor, all opposed, unanimous. All right, next is the amendment to chapter 31 of the code of ordinances.
So this is something that we've discussed previously about just cleaning up 31.16 and 31.17. Those sections and 31.18. Those sections deal with the purchasing agents for the town. So the town council is the purchasing agency, and then by statute, you can then designate purchasing agents. And currently 3116 just lists the town council, the clerk treasurer, and those additional town employees or other persons who are designated in writing from time to time. So with 3116, that would then, the amendment would add the town marshal, the utility superintendent, the street superintendent, and the director of golf to those purchasing agents. And the purchasing agents, so long as the money's already been budgeted by council, are able to spend up to certain amounts. And then we added in language, which is in the policy currently, about needing to abide by federal rules should this federal money be used. So 3117 then is purchase of supplies under $50,000 by purchasing agents. And the last time this ordinance was adjusted, there were the utility superintendent and street superintendent were separated out with a higher level. They tend to deal with more expensive projects. And then, so their limits would be $0 to $5,000, encouraged to invite 3 written quotes, and they have the authority to select the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. 5,000 to 10,000, they're required to invite 3 written quotes, and they would be able to select the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. And anything above 10,000 up to that $50,000 mark, required to invite at least 3 sealed quotes, and then those sealed quotes would come to a town council meeting and be opened, and then the town council would select the lowest responsible and responsive bidders. The process for all other purchasing agents would be the same. The dollar amounts would be different. It's 0 to 1,500, 1,500 to 3,000, and then anything above 3,000 would be required to come to council in the same manner as Tim and Rocky's. And again, these are only for things that are already budgeted. If it's something that comes up that is not budgeted, they have to go through the normal additional appropriation process that anybody else would. So this is only for stuff that's in their budget. And then purchase of services, same way. The utility superintendent and street superintendent would be the 0 to 5,000, the 5,000 to 10,000, and then 10,000 above would come in front of council, and then the same dollar amount, 0 to 1,500, 1,500 to 3,000, and above 3,000 for all other purchasing agents. Just clean up a little bit, but also to put standards in place that are clear and but trying not to be overly burdensome. So yeah.
Any questions about this? Again, we'll have to suspend the rules.
I'll make a motion to suspend.
Fred made a motion to suspend the rules. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Becky seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous? Okay, do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Fred made a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Becky seconded. All in favor? It's unanimous.
And I will say too, this is just, that's written to begin January 1. Okay.
Yes.
It's written to start new beginning of the year, new policy. We're gonna have American Legal Publishing working overtime, Gina.
They're gonna hate me.
You guys came along at the right time. There wasn't anything for you to sign on. Just kidding.
AAA State of Play rubber mulch quote. This came from Rocky, correct?
Correct, yep. Rocky had found a better quote than he did during 2026 budget season. And he wants to go ahead and put in the purchase order for 2026. The total amount for all the rubber mulch for the playgrounds in town would be $13,650.
Do I have a motion?
Does this include the
Correct.
park over
Yes.
in the subdivision too?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
I make the motion to approve it.
Becky made a motion to approve, Ethan seconded, all in favor? Unanimous. Agreement for right-of-way work permit.
So this is the, has to do with the Reservoir Road project. So the line down the hill does come into the town's property and the connection is in Reservoir Road within the town's property. So they'll need to do a road cut to connect to our system there. So we did last year adopt an ordinance for right-of-way work. To authorize agreements for right-of-way work. And that's what this would be. I know that this is one Brackney's been looking for so that they can get started on that end of the project. I've reviewed it with the county's attorney and Tim and looked it over also. So I think that would be ready to go. And again, this is on the bottom of the hill. The easements up at the golf course are a separate thing that we're still working on.
Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to make a motion?
Make that. I'll second.
Ethan made a motion to approve, Rick seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0.
It looks like this needs to be signed by Tim and Rocky.
Yeah,
Okay.
Balance of Sportsplex Construction Fund account.
So after Rick had gotten the credit for, was it the badminton poles?
Badminton, yes.
It was $800 that came off that final payment to Shooty Excavating, and so this leaves $800 in that construction fund account. So we need to decide how council wants to disperse those funds.
And you're gonna get in touch with these funds. If we don't use them, we gotta send it back.
Right.
They're designated art
Correct.
funds. So you're gonna get with Shelley, correct, and see how the pickleball club would like to spend this money, and then we send it to them if everybody's okay.
Everybody's good with that.
So they could use it for like the sales or
Yeah.
go towards the bulletin board that they
Yeah.
wanted to put down
Yeah.
there. Okay.
I would imagine we have to approve anything they want to get to it, don't we?
Yes.
So you want me to, whatever they decide to bring to you,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yes,
approve
Let us
it?
know.
Okay, I gotcha.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
I make that motion.
Rick made a motion, Ethan seconded, all in favor, all opposed. Do I have to sign anywhere? Gina?
No, that's okay. I just wanted to
All right,
see what you guys wanna do with them.
amendment to chapter 151 of the Code of Ordinances. This is what you were talking about?
yeah. So I know Tim had sent out an email with some suggested changes. So the other stuff I got to, I didn't get to that one. So if there's any discussion, I agreed with what Tim was suggesting to update. But I didn't know if you guys wanted to have any discussion with him about that.
Deb, do you want to talk about what you want to have changed?
the way the code reads now is that whoever applies for a building permit, according to our code, should go to the county first and have one issued and then come to the town. We've always done it the opposite. The counties in the past has made them come to the town first to get a permit, and then they issued the permit, even though our code did not say that. That's one of the things I think we need to have changed. And I
To say
think
which what,
to say that the person should get a building permit from the town before they go to the county.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are going to the county, getting a building permit, they don't come back to the town.
yeah,
There are just a few little changes in here. Let's see. Okay, sub 151.02, section A, building permits. Instead of the building permit application being issued by the clerk treasurer, I'm proposing it read issued by the town municipal office, because anybody that works for the town can actually give a person a permit and instruct them how to fill it out and everything. It doesn't necessarily have to be
okay.
the clerk treasurer. Okay, and the town permit first. At the end of the subsection, it states that a permit shall not be required for the renovation of any interior or any structure not affecting sewer or water lines with or without such structure. I believe it should read that if their remodel affects plumbing of any sort and or electric, they need to get a permit. And I'm not sure that it reads that way. It doesn't have electric in it, I know. And then we have the fee, which is currently at $2. That was set back in 1969. The COA permit today is $25. I think it should be at least $25.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not big into raising fees, but I agree with that.
Okay, in 151.02, section C, enforcement officer, it states it was put in, I think, in 69 also. It says the waterworks superintendent will be responsible for the supervision of the building permits. I'm moving that we move it to read town council appointed officer, which whoever that may be, but we don't have a waterworks superintendent any longer. There's also penalty language, 151.99. The penalties were written in 1969. And I wrote in my email, I don't have any recommendations for this, but I think it should be updated. $10 in 1969 is equal to $88 today. So, but I didn't really put in a recommendation for that. And I think that covers everything that. I think the most important thing is that we change the language so that the person needs to get a permit from the town before they go to the county. That's the main part of this that I'd like to see changed.
Caitlin's all right with everything on that.
Oh yes, she's more than she prefers it that way.
Yep.
But she can't enforce that because our code doesn't read that.
Okay.
She explains to the people that they need to go to the town to get a permit. That isn't always the case. I think that's.
This is tonight's for discussion only because Andy hadn't had time write this one up yet.
I think, just from listening to Tim, 1969, the permit was $2. The fine for violation was 10, it was 5 times the cost of the permit. So if we make the permit fee $25, then the fine I think ought to be like $150.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
to encourage people to just do it right from the beginning. And I mean, that's how it was set up in '69, the last time it was revamped. So I think 5 times the cost of the permit should be that was their intention back then, and I agree. It should be significantly higher to be found in violation of it than just do it correctly.
That's good.
So we're just tabling this tonight, so I have motion to table.
I make that motion to table.
Becky made a motion to table. Fred seconded, all in favor? All opposed? Favor. I thought you were. Clear Creek Coatings LTD final pay application.
So-
These people finally finished what they were doing.
Yes, they finished up last week. I think it was last Friday. They finished it up. They spread the gravel out. Thomas checked it and said it's passable and everything's okay, so
Good.
should be good to go.
So the final pay amount is $9,250.
Do I have a motion to pay this? This is the water tank up by the high school, correct?
Yes.
Ethan made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Becky made a second. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. Do I sign this?
Right where that X is, because the other side says engineer, so on the front page. Yeah, just next to that sticker would be good.
It's the second page.
Oh, sorry. Are you sure?
Let me see.
Wonder how many.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
My hand was covering up. Yeah, it is first page. Oh, I want to sit it down for. Okay. West gearbox quote for wastewater plant.
Oh, wait, that's this one. My bad. Sorry, it's this one.
Oh, okay.
Same side.
All right.
This is architect, but.
All right. It's the first time
Thank
in
you.
life I was confused. Okay.
Does everyone have the gearbox quote in front of them? Because I've left mine apparently on my desk, but I think it was $21,252.25. I can guess. $0.21, $21,252.21. This is from Evoqua Water Technologies. The gearbox on this west brush is the original brush that was when they redid the whole plant in 1990. This is the only company I can find that can replace this gearbox. But in ordering from Lakeside company, that they're the only ones that I know of that does the north and south brush. This is a reasonable price. It's not overly priced or anything. This is what they cost. So I'm not able to get another quote because I know it's a Zimpro product. I know of no other company. I've searched for them in the past, and this is the only company I can find that will even deal in this gearbox. So it's over my limit. I just wanted to present it to the board for approval.
Any questions or anything from the board? May I have a motion? Keith made a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Fred seconded. All in favor, all opposed, unanimous.
Okay, the next one is a grinder pump replacement, and this is a grinder pump for the Twin Forks lift station, which is behind 52 pickup. And in the last few months, we've been having to go over there every month at least and pull the pumps and pull dude wipes out of them. They're getting plugged up. The manufacturer of the pumps, these pumps have been in there for 15 years. He said once they start getting wore, the tolerances are just enough to allow these wipes to get up in there and lock the pump up. So Dwight checked in on a new pump, which is supposed to solve that problem and grind them up.
Good deal.
And it is just, we have two pumps in there, but just wanted to get one for now. It's $6,695. And I know that's below my limit, but I just wanted to present it to the board because we have so many different costs coming up at the wastewater plant. So I just wanted to get approval on that also. And I just wanted to also let you know that we had Star Weld Company, which is Bruce Davis, come in last week to look at our main lift station down at the sewer plant. He has to come back to replace the rails. He straightened up some pumps in there while he was here. He's sending off the rails to have them galvanized because he cannot find stainless steel rails for this. But we also had to have a pumping truck come in to divert the sewage coming into the lift station while they were working on it. So we've got that cost, which I know the quote for the repair of the lift station in April was around $4,000. I don't know what the pump rental is going to be. We didn't get an invoice from that. They are going to have to come back. Bruce has to come back, but I'm thinking that price, that's going to be included in his quote when he comes back to install these new rails. But that's another cost that we're dealing with at the wastewater plant. So, you put all these together and things are starting to add up.
Crap happens. Literally. Any discussion, questions? Motion to approve. Keith made a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Fred seconded. All in favor, all opposed, 5-0.
And while I'm up here, I didn't see this on the agenda, but do we have a building permit from Hamstra?
Sorry, yep, it's on there, the very last thing.
Oh, okay. I must have,
I updated it this afternoon.
okay. I looked over the permit and I don't see anything outstanding or anything that catches my eye. I talked to Caitlin and Keith about this at the APC office and they said there's no big changes in this or anything. The building permit is only for the BMV and the Division of Family Services. It is not for the proposed carpentry shop or whatever was on the plan. It's not for that.
Okay,
It's just for the BMV and the Department of Family Services.
Yes.
That's it. I just kind of wanted to make that clear too, because they did have that outline. They had it on the plans, but they have no detailed plans for it. It's just proposed right now. So don't know if that's going to take effect or not, but the building permit is just for those two offices, which are kind of in the same section.
Now they're working on the front of that, ain't they?
Yes, they are. What they've mainly been doing is demo. They have put a few things in. Keith, the building inspector with APC has talked to them. They're getting a permit through the county. They just need one from the town also, but most of their work so far has been demolition, which you don't have to have a permit for, so.
this is the old Alco building. Anybody want to make a motion to approve? Ethan made the motion to approve, second, Fred seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0. Anybody up here have anything? Vicky, do you have anything? Terry, do you have anything? All right,
I'll make the motion for the meeting to dismiss.
I'll second it.
Becky made a motion, Journey seconded, all in favor, all opposed. 1 hour, 17.
Yeah.
But my goal was 30 minutes.